Please welcome PCI Security Standards Council Executive Director, Gina Gobeyn.
All right, how about that? I think that's called Fire Up Boston. Welcome to Boston. Welcome to our 2024 North American Community Meeting. My name is Gina Gobeyn. I'm the new Executive Director for the PCI Security Standards Council, and I am so delighted to be here with you today. I've had the chance to meet with many of you. Over the years, I've actually worked with several of you. But for those of you I've not yet had the opportunity to meet, please allow me to introduce myself. I'll take a moment. So I joined the council in January, and while I'm new in my role, I'm actually not new to PCI. Prior to joining, I was the Chief Risk Management Officer for the payments business at Discover. But my journey with the council, it actually started with its launch. I was fortunate enough to be part of the team representing Discover as a founding member. In fact, it was the PCI mission that actually drew me to pursue that opportunity at Discover. The idea that I could be part of something so valuable and meaningful as an initiative to launch an industry security standards company whose sole focus was to protect card data around the globe, I had to have that job. And I'm so glad that I had that opportunity. It really was that desire to work on something so meaningful that personally and as a security professional, I found so very rewarding. And this was at a time when merchant breaches were new and certainly on the rise. Merchants had to protect cardholder data, and at the time, not a lot of them understood what that meant or how to go about doing that. Each of the payment brands had their own security standard. Merchants had to comply with each of them, and the feedback from the industry was we needed to reduce the complexity. We had to simplify. The demand was for one security standard. And what we recognized was that security is all of our responsibility. It was our industry's priority. We knew that security was non-competitive. The bad guys were working together. We needed to work together too. So with the launch of the council, my job at Discover was really to help build out Discover's supporting programs and operations. I was responsible for building out the data security compliance program. In fact, for many years, you would have found me in the vendor showcase, sitting in the booth, helping to answer any questions about education, awareness, promoting the adoption of the security standards. I was also responsible for developing Discover's account data compromise program. So working with the team to help identify where we had breaches, working with partners to help them contain those breaches and ultimately remediate and seek PCI compliance. With time, I had responsibility for fraud incident response, fraud risk management programs, and I saw firsthand what happens when a partner experiences a breach of their cardholder data environment. I saw the financial losses, the fraud loss, the reputational damage, as well as the loss of customer confidence. I also got to see the tremendous value when our community comes together and focuses on efforts to protect cardholder data. The tremendous value in how we're preventing breaches or mitigating the likelihood of breaches, and when there is a security event, really helping to minimize that impact. As an executive committee member, I had the unique opportunity to help shape the goals and the priorities of what the council was working on. And I did that by representing the voices of our partners, whether it was our merchants, our acquirers, our issuers, or our other network alliance partnerships. It was the feedback and the voices from our partners that helped us shape what threats we needed to plan and manage for, where in certain payment segments or in areas of the globe needed additional support with education, awareness, but also where there were opportunities to start looking at how do we shape security requirements to address emerging payments. When the council launched 18 years ago, I was super passionate about that mission. I wanted to be part of that team. And I am honored to be part of the team now as we look forward. So enough about me. We'll start to focus on us. The video you saw at the opening of the show really helped set the stage for this week's theme, shaping the future of payment security. And let's be honest, the Council and this community has been shaping payment security for 18 years. And I'd like to take a moment before I get too far into things to really recognize someone very special to our community. Lance Johnson is here with us today. Lance and his family are here. And the thing about Lance is always thanking everyone else for what they've contributed. But Lance, today is about us thanking you. And so Lance's contributions over the years have been tremendous. So please stick with me as I highlight probably just a few of those. Lance was here at the launch, super instrumental in the founding of the council in his representation of Visa. Lance was also instrumental in helping to expand the council by helping to facilitate the transition of our second standard, the Payment Application Data Security standard, for those of us lovingly known as the PADSS. Over the years, Lance has helped sharpen the council's mission, the framework by which we work, and our strategic pillars. More recently, through COVID, Lance helped us as an industry transfer all of the council programs to being able to support remote assessments, secure work from home. Most recently, Lance has successfully expanded the council's governance structure and our participating membership opportunities. And I, of course, am tremendously thankful for Lance in helping me to onboard with the council and welcoming me as a member of the team. Please join me as we recognize Lance's many contributions over the years and celebrate and congratulate him on his retirement. Yay. Thank you, Lance. So Lance was here at our beginning, and wow, have we come a long way in 18 years. The world has changed, payments has changed, technology advancements, payment form factors, payment acceptance channels, the customer's demand for convenience and frictionless experiences have helped shape and accelerate that change. In 2006, when the council launched, probably very few of us were thinking about making mobile payments from our devices. Fewer of us were probably thinking that at some point merchants would be accepting our payments with their mobile devices. In fact, the internet was still considered pretty risky for e-commerce transactions, a little bit scary for customers, merchants, and the issuing banks all the same. But this year, as an example, retail e-commerce sales are expected to exceed $6.3 US worldwide. And what we know is that number will continue to grow. I will tell you there's no one at my house that's afraid of online shopping. In fact, that's evidenced by the number of times the delivery trucks come to my house each and every day. So changes in the payments industry has been truly remarkable in the last 18 years. But we know that in partnership with you, our community, the council has also done some truly tremendous work over that time. To name a few, we started with the PCI DSS version 1. We're at PCI DSS version 4. What started with one standard is now 15 standards, all the supporting programs, and a plethora of guidance and best practices shared by the council. The ecosystem, the global ecosystem that we've created together of qualified security assessors, investigators, and laboratories. And when our industry was grappling with changes to address COVID protocols, the council was there with you, providing best practices on how to securely work from home, to shift to conducting remote assessments. And speaking of COVID, certainly that global pandemic was a bit of a tipping point for the changes in our industry. Some of the dramatic changes, right, were driven by our behaviors and then demand our customers demanding a different experience. We had less face-to-face interactions, so online payments became more and more of the norm. The avoidance of cash or touching physical devices, including terminals. Fintechs, new thought leaders, new innovators, and disruptors in our space continue to offer new services, expanding their offerings. And there was a demand for contactless. Our terminals changed. We've normalized phones for making and accepting payments. But through all of these changes, and in partnership with this community, the Council has been supporting our industry with our standards, our guidance, our training, and our certification programs. In just the last 18 months, I think we can all still feel the technology continues to advance, the pace continues to accelerate, and these changes in our payments transformation and innovation are increasingly being driven by new thought leaders. And for the Council, it's really critical that we have these thought leaders at our table. We're working to have more voices from more sectors advising the Council. It's our job to then enable those thought leaders to help contribute to how we begin to shape the future of card security. Sorry. In just the last 18 months, our board of advisors has doubled in size. And this advisory group, they represent all of you. They've been elected by you to represent your payment vertical or your payment segment, and they've been chosen to help represent our global payment marketplace. Over the next 2 days, I'm excited that you will begin to see some of the evidence of our increased engagement with our board of advisors. In fact, our board of advisors have helped shape this year's community meetings. We have an extended speaker lineup, and the workshops that occurred yesterday was driven by the feedback from our board of advisors. And their feedback really represented what they felt would bring the most value to our community when we have the opportunity to meet face-to-face. Also within the last 18 months, we've restructured our participating organization program. We've introduced tiers. We have the associate, principal, and individual participating memberships. And this is based on the type and the level of engagement that you'd like to have with the Council. I'm excited to report that we have 35 principal participating organizations today, and they represent some of the most influential and innovative organizations in our payment industry. Thank you to the many of you that are actually here with us today. And it really is this expanded engagement which positions the Council to best address and plan for what's next. What does our industry look like in the next few years? Next 3 years, 5 years, even 10? What are the security threats that we'll have to tackle together on the yet-to-be-envisioned payment technologies? And as we navigate this fast-changing payments landscape, it's our stakeholder engagement that becomes increasingly important to make sure that the Council is focused on the priorities of today, but also to get a sense of what could be on the horizon. Today, our Board of Advisors, in their 2-year term, they're helping us address the initiatives that the Council should prioritize to address the security concerns of today. But now, with the new participating membership of our principal participating organizations as our advisors, we have the opportunity to understand and plan for what could be on our horizon. It's these thought leaders and this community that's going to help the Council get it right. And so it's exciting to think about the successes of the Council over the last 18 years and even over the last 18 months. But as we look forward, while the PCI's mission remains the same, just look how our vision potential has expanded. And I'm excited to say I think we are just getting started. So in my new role, I've been thinking a lot about what the next 18 months looks like. And so I'm mindful that the pace of change will continue to accelerate. We'll see new advancements in technologies, and those advancements may be driven by new players in our ecosystem. And through it all, right, we still have that opportunistic bad actor. But in my new role, I'm committed to helping the council stay forward-looking and doing so by optimizing the way we're collaborating with our community. We're going to evolve the way we work so that we can address a fast-paced, innovative payment marketplace. So a priority for me over the next 18 months is really to continue to build upon the strengths of the council, but also to invest in our future. And within the first few months of me being in the new role, I recognized that there was an opportunity for us to further invest in the council's leadership in two main areas that really drive what the council works on. First, optimizing our engagement with this community and our thought leaders. Secondly, to enhancing the way we're bringing and delivering our products, our standards, our guidance, our training, and our certification, bringing those deliverables to this community. Earlier this year, we announced two new roles: PCI's Head of Engagement and PCI's Head of Product and Technology. Today, I'm excited to be able to introduce you to two amazing women, both of them with extensive experience in our industry. Please help me welcome to the stage Diana Greenhaw and Deanne Zettler. Fun fact about Diana, she is an avid horseback rider, and so our imaginations are pretty excited about what the possibilities might be for our North American community meeting next year when we're in Texas. And maybe not such a fun fact for Deanne. It's exciting.
So fun.
Today is Deanne's 25th wedding anniversary, and we will help her celebrate it here with us today. All right. All right. Okay, so like I said, I'm really excited to introduce you to both. Diana Greenhaw is our new head of engagement. Diana is a natural fit for this role. She has really been a crucial voice in our community for many years. I first met Diana when she was the vice president for global payment system risk for Visa. She was representing the industry in her role on the executive committee. More recently, Diana was on our board of advisors representing Block. Diana definitely has been in your seat. She knows this community well. She knows the ins and outs of the payments business. And in her new role, she will be responsible for overseeing all aspects of engagement with our community and collaboration with you, our payment networks, financial institutions, merchants, acquirers, service providers, and regulatory bodies across the globe. Deanne Zettler is our new head of product and technology, and Deanne comes to us with over 25 years' experience leading technology strategies, solutions, and operations in the financial services. She is also no stranger to our community, as she spent most of her career at Discover. There, Deanne led the global technology delivery organization, where her role was to bring forward payment products and payment services. Most recently, Deanne was focusing her efforts on consulting. Her areas of specialty are in strategy, transformation, and efficient operations. In our industry, many of your companies have moved to become more agile. The council will be looking at leveraging some of those same principles as we look at how we can optimize what we're bringing forward to the market. It's this expertise that Deanne brings to the council. So Deanne will help shepherd us through our transformation. Thank you. All right, and so in short, this is the leadership team. We are committed to optimizing our engagement with you, but also evolving the way we work. I'm excited to introduce you both, and first I will ask Diana to introduce herself and share a little bit about her vision.
Thank you, Gina. So I have to say, Looking out in the audience today, I am so excited to be here. And by here, I actually mean up on this stage with Gina and Deanne. Just 1 year ago, I was sitting in the audience at the PCI community meeting in Portland, Oregon, as a participating organization. I believed then, and I believe now, that the PCI community meetings are some of the most important events that we, as payment security and risk management professionals, can attend each year. Like Gina said, I'm not new to PCI. I've had the opportunity to work with many of you in my different roles over the years. I have served on the PCI Executive Committee on behalf of a global payment brand. I had the opportunity to sit on the board of advisors for a principal participating organization. And when I was offered the opportunity just 4 months ago to join the PCI Council as head of engagement, I knew that this was an opportunity for me to contribute to the industry in a different way, to give back to an industry that I've been working in for a very long time. It's also now my chance to work with you to shape how PCI works with its stakeholders going into the future. I want you to think of me as your advocate on the inside. Next, you're going to see my phone number. You're not. Now, when Gina talked about her path to PCI, as well as PCI Council's history, it reminded me of something that I read recently. It was a quote by Edward Everett Hale, an author and historian from right here in Boston. He said, "Coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is progress. And working together is success." I think this is a perfect description of PCI's past and its future successes. PCI brought us together 18 years ago. They've kept us together, making incredible progress for 18 years. And now working together differently is how we're going to build on that success into the future. 2 years ago, PCI announced a change to its membership model. It also doubled the size of its board of advisors. The board of advisors is made up of organizations across every segment of the payment industry. They have always contributed thought leadership and direction to PCI. But now, with the new model, they'll have earlier involvement in standards development. They'll also receive voting rights on the publication of new standards and major revisions of existing standards. This, combined with the new membership tiers that Gina talked about, really provides an opportunity for every organization to find the acceptance or the participation level that fits their need. This is all to ensure that we're bringing the right products to market at the right time. When I think about the PCI community, you really can't overstate how powerful this collective group is. Think about it. It's made up of hundreds, actually thousands, of banks, retailers, fintechs, payment networks, processors, service providers, hardware and software developers, qualified security assessors, certification labs, card production vendors. This list goes on and on. It's this diversity of membership and the diversity of thought that is going to allow PCI to continue to protect the payment system now and into the future. But the most important part of that equation really is you. You are on the front line. You are helping us to see around corners to what's coming next. I also believe that you are the key to identifying new participants to come into this room. Who's missing from the conversation? Who's not here today that should be? I want to ask you to help us bring those partners in so that we continue to elevate the value of PCI membership. Now, I want to talk about one way that we have already leveraged some of our partnerships. Yesterday, we did something new. We held pre-conference workshops that were designed for information sharing and open discussions on top security issues. Please join me in a round of applause to thank Tony James from Target and Shane Hamilton from Toast for facilitating those discussions. Now, these workshops were put together as the direct result of stakeholder feedback. Stakeholders told us, we want to contribute more. We have special insight. We have information about the trends in the industry. I was actually worried when we put these on the agenda. I was telling PCI staff we need to make sure we're sitting in the room in case no one else is. So it turned out they were incredibly popular. It was literally standing room only in those rooms. Now, I do recognize that some of you were not able to participate as we reached capacity in those workshop rooms. What I commit to you is that we will improve the process. We'll improve the registration process. We'll do better at our capacity planning. But I also want you to know that we will capture the information that was gathered in those discussions yesterday, and we will put that together as part of the post-conference materials that you will receive over the next several weeks. I also think it's clear from setting up those discussions and the incredible popularity that those had, I think it's very clear that you want to be part of the conversation. You don't want to just be talked to, you want to be talked with. And that was a great indicator. Now, if you've come to the PCI community meetings before, if you feel like you already know PCI, I encourage you, become familiar with what's new, because we have so much going on. And we'll be talking about that all day today and tomorrow. If you're new to the community, if this is your first PCI community meeting, attend as many sessions as you can. Meet the organizations and individuals who are making a difference in payment security. I believe that, like me, you'll be back at this event year over year. And I have to say that I actually think a lot of you are thinking the same way, because I am happy to announce that this year, with the combination of the people in this room and our online session, we are actually at the highest audience participation we've ever had. So thank you for being here. I look forward to meeting and talking with as many of you as possible over the next few days. I want to hear about what's working, where are we hitting our targets. I also want to understand where there are other opportunities that you've thought of where we can continue to partner even better. I really am excited for the future of PCI engagement. Additionally, I'm excited about the future of products and technology. Deanne is going to talk to us in just a moment about her vision for what she sees as how her organization is going to really operationalize these concepts that Gina and I have talked about and bring them to life. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to Deanne.
Well, thank you, Diana, and good morning to everyone today. For those I haven't met, again, I'm Deanne Zettler, the new head of product and technology here at the council. Now, I'm relatively new to the organization, and I've been here for just about 2 months now. So I'm extremely excited to be here with all of you today, even if it is my 25th wedding anniversary today. With that being said, I do want to start by emphasizing that I bring a unique skill set to the council, really to strengthen and complement the security expertise that we have within the organization. Now, my background has really centered on leading technology strategy, product delivery organizations, and then also transformation programs within financial services. So when you hear me speak today, and when I speak with you over the next couple of days, you're going to hear a ton of energy about driving efficiency, not only in how we work within PCI, but also with how we work with each of you. Now, some of the favorite work that I had when I was at Discover was leading its most strategic payment partnership programs. And this included initiatives such as launching its very first mobile wallet payment infrastructure, in addition to its white label payment capabilities. Now, these are examples of my favorite work really for two primary reasons. First, these initiatives required us to collectively make change across almost the entire payment ecosystem. And I believe that's largely represented in the room here today. And second, working with our external partners required us to raise the bar in our internal delivery practices, the technology solutions that we built, and then also in our payment security as well. And that's actually what I love about my job here at PCI, is that I get the opportunity to partner with you to produce the highest quality, commercially achievable standards, raising the bar across the industry. Now, Gina spoke a little bit earlier about the pace of change in payments and how technology is continuously evolving. Just like your organizations, you've had to change, adapt, transform to meet the needs of the industry. And that's exactly what PCI needs to do as well. So what I'd like to do is share this morning our vision in terms of how we'll be managing our evolution here at PCI. Our team is focused on maximizing value really in four major areas. That includes the how, the what, the who, and the pace. So just as you can see, it's how the council works, it's what the council works on, it's who the council works with, and then the pace at which the council works. So I'd like to start focusing on how the council will work. Simply stated, we're going to be transitioning into a product delivery model. And what that really means is that we're going to be driving agility in our standards development process and our supporting programs. And we're also going to be leveraging really strong stakeholder engagement along the way. This includes looking at our entire end-to-end product lifecycle. So it's not just the standards, it's the supporting programs, it's the training, it's all the quality programs that goes into our go-to-market planning. Now, our immediate focus is on driving simplicity, and this is really removing as much complexity as we can from the go-to-market process. Some of the areas that we're focusing on currently includes consolidating our standards, so from the 15 we have today, driving consistency across our standards, and then reducing as much duplication as we can across the standards as well. Now, the great news is that PCI has already started on this journey, and we already have a plan to consolidate, really realign our standards. And I'm really excited to say that Andrew Jameson has a fantastic presentation coming up next that will provide the details in terms of how we're looking at this moving forward. In the meantime, I will talk about what the council works on. So big picture, we're going to be leveraging longer range roadmaps, helping us plan our end-to-end delivery. And our goal is to be as forward-looking as possible, out 5 to 10 years, as Gina noted a bit earlier, to be as proactive as possible. Now, this approach must take input from our stakeholders, really contribute ideas and perhaps timing in terms of how we go about that implementation. And then my team is taking all this information to build that operational plan to be very clear on our short, mid, and our long-term goals and priorities. And that's leveraging our advisory groups in addition to our internal governance processes as well. Now, in terms of who the council works with, this probably isn't going to be a surprise, but we're extremely excited about our engagement model, as Diana spoke a little bit earlier. So leveraging stakeholder input early in the standards development lifecycle is really going to help complement the request for comment process that we have today. And just like, again, in your organizations, as you're building products, the more you have your stakeholders involved early in the lifecycle, the more you have fruitful conversations or perhaps spicy conversations depending on diversity in the room, right? And that's what you want, is diverse perspectives that are helping to contribute towards your product delivery. So the bottom line is that the input that we get from you is going to help the council make more informed decisions. Okay, last but not least, the pace in which PCI works. Now, some of you might be thinking this solely means speed. And what I really want to redirect is to say, in addition to speed, we're really working on getting this right together. And that's more important than speed. This really includes, again, carefully aligning how we work, what we work on, who we work with to get it right together. Now, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, I'm extremely excited to be here today. I'm extremely excited to be part of the PCI leadership team. I hope I get a chance to meet so many of you today, and I hope you help me celebrate my 25th anniversary today as well. As Gina noted, this is just the beginning, and we're just so excited. So thank you again. We appreciate it. Gina, back to you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Deanne. Thank you, Diana. I think you can see that we really have had the opportunity to sit at a variety of seats at the industry's table, and we're bringing some specialty and focus to optimizing the way that we're working with our community and evolving the way we're working with our community. So here, together today, we're going to embark on the next part of our journey. With this community, face to face, we're interested in hearing from all of you on how we can, as the council, continue to provide value and benefits to you, our community, to continue to support you in regions of the world or in your market segments that need additional education, awareness, helping to support the adoption of our standards around the globe. We're going to work with you to ensure that we're doing our best to stay ahead of security threats and address bad actors. But we're also going to seek excellence. We're going to seek excellence in how we're engaging and supporting our very innovative payment marketplace with secure payment standards. So we need your voice. We need your expertise, and we need your engagement. We need you at our table. Thank you.